Alright, so thank you for watching. Thanks for staying tuned. So I went to Google and just started searching for loops. I forget what I typed in. Loops, microchip, programming code, something like that. And ultimately I got the microchip developer website with some pretty good sample code for a for loop. So I think I would like to try this. But note to self that I guess I'm new to this, maybe other people already know, but this is the Fundamentals of C Programming tab on the Microchip Developer Help website, and this looks awesome, and almost like it suffices as literature you might purchase to go ahead and learn all the programming techniques. So I have yet to go through this. And here is the intro page. So I will try and leave the link for this in the description below. Alright, so I'd like to take what's here and just turn this into a proper for loop. So hopefully I will leave a link for this below. I'll just copy this. Alright, so I don't know if my audience is familiar with how a for loop works, but I will just recap very briefly. So I, which is a counter I already created, I is assigned a value of 0. When I is less than 5, stay in the for loop, and each time it iterates through the loop, I is incremented by 1. So when it goes the first time through the loop, I is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then when it goes to the top here, I becomes 6, and the for loop says no, it's only when I is less than 5, so then it breaks out of the loop. So I will build and upload you will just have to use your imagination because I'm not showing a clip of it. But I think what's happening here is that after I uploaded this into the chip, it was successful, and it continues to it continues to iterate through this loop. And so when this for loop is completed with its 5 flashes, I do believe it just returns to the top of the loop again and continues. So I have no ability to see or distinguish when it stops blinking and starts again. So to modify this, I think I will surround this with an if statement and require an input pin to be pulled high or triggered by a high. I'll give it a try. It was successful, and I'm going to move to a shot of my breadboard and show you that it did work.
All right, so when I created the code, and I had the for loop, and the for loop was set to iterate 5 times because of the parameters I gave it, or arguments, what was happening is that it was endlessly blinking, 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 blinking. And it probably was iterating through the for loop, which was making it blink 5 times, but then there was no break. It would just go back to the void main of the code and start over. So I couldn't distinguish when the for loop was starting or stopping or what stage it was at. So what I did is I surrounded that for loop with an if statement, and I don't know if I explained it in the code when it was on camera, but it relied upon input pin GP2 to sense a high. So actually I better orient it the same way as my chip. Oh goodness. So here's GP2. It has been set through the tri-state register as an input, and the current void main code says that when GP2 equals a 1 or a high, then to go into the for loop. And the for loop was set up on, which pin was that? GP1 was the output pin, just according to the way my code is written. So anyway, without lots of boring talk, I'll just show you. This should go through the for loop when I push GP2 high. And I'll turn the light out. Don't get scared. Okay. And so much fun. If you watched the previous videos, I guess I'm doing a series now on the PIC10F200, but I explained the pull down resistor here, which is connected to GP2. So there's a 1K resistor always pulling down the input pin GP2 to a low through a 1K resistor. And because I don't want to send power directly back into an input pin, there's also, I would call this a current limiting resistor. And then when I push the button, it sends a high into GP2. Oh, let's do it one more time.